morning everybody, I'm here for the second Key Stage 1 Maths meeting. Remember this is for year 1 and 2, so I will differentiate the numbers and the tasks in it, but feel free to dip in and out of whichever ones are more suitable for you. As always, we will start with our song, so I hope you're ready and all going to join in on the next slide. We love maths, yes we do. We love maths and we're ready to. With a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We love maths, it's really great. Now we're going to start with some counting. First of all, year 1's what I'd like to do if you've got 100 square in front of you, or you may be able to do this off the top of your head. I want you to count all the way from 1 to 100, forwards and backwards. And if you can do it with your eyes closed, then that's even better. Year 2's, last week we practiced counting in 2s, so today we're going to practice counting in 5s. If you want the 100 square in front of you, then that's fine. You may want to circle the numbers like I've just done here. So 5, 10, 15, 20. Keep going all the way till you get to 100. And I want you to tell me, what do you notice about the numbers in the 5 times table? And carrying on from last week, we talked about multiples. So all those numbers that you've circled are in the 5 times table and are multiples of 5. So if I was to say to you, is 53 a multiple of 5? What would your answer be? And can you write an explanation as to why you think it is or isn't? Okay. As a further challenge, you might want to write out your very own 100 square. You see on the next slide, I've started mine off. And time yourself, see how long it takes you to make your own 100 square from 1 to 100. It's always good practice to carry on writing our numbers and getting them round the right way. Okay, it's time for another song. Last week we did days of the week. This week we are doing months of the year. Now, as I usually do it in my class, you can play along with people at home or whoever's in your class at school. And when it comes to the month of your birthday, and grown-ups you can join in as well, you need to stand up so that hopefully everybody that you're with will have stood up by the end of the song. And there'll be some questions about the months of the year after the song.
January, February, March and April, May, June, July and August, September, October, November, December. These are the months of the year. January, February, March and April, May, June, July and August, September, October, November, December. These are the months of the year.
Okay, so I've got some questions for you about the months of the year. First one, how many months of the year are there? Number 2, what months are in which season? So remember there's 4 seasons and I want you to write out which months are in which season. How many weeks are there in a year? Now I know this is going back to weeks, but I wonder if you can find that one out. So we're now in June. What month was last month? And what month will be next month? Next question, you need to write out your birthday date. For example, 24th of April 2012. So can you write that out properly? Next one is to practice spelling the months of the year. There's a poster coming next to help you learn to spell the months of the year. And the last question, and this is just to give you a bit of information. It's about how many days are there in each month. They're not all the same. And how I remember it from being taught when I was your age was a little rhyme. And it goes like this. 30 days has September, April, June and November. All the rest have 31, except for February, which has 28 and 29 days in a leap year. And by the way, congratulations to the people last week who knew that there were 365 days in the year, but 366 in a leap year. So my questions now are, how many days are there in July? And how many days are there in September? Okay, let's see if you can work that one out. Okay, your next challenge is looking at number bonds. So in the next picture, you'll see number bonds to 10, number bonds to 20, and number bonds to 100, which I haven't completed yet. So I want you to complete them, depending on whether you're working on number bonds to 10, 20, or 100. Right, next one. Can you remember what these signs are for? Now, if I look at them properly, I can have a look at them. This one at the bottom, this means equals. And these ones here, these mean greater than and less than. And remember, the crocodile eats the biggest number. So these are your greater than, less than symbols. So I'm going to give you an example. And on the next slide, I can't find my rubber now. And on the next slide, there'll be some numbers that you need to put them in. So I am going to write these two numbers here. This says 14 is less than 25, because here you've got the crocodile, which is eating the bigger number, which is 25. So 14 is less than 25. $73 is greater than 16. Okay, so that's using your greater than and less than symbols. And on the next slide, there'll be some numbers for you to fill out those symbols. Okay. So the last area that we're going to look at today is money. So there's a great song next for you to join into. And I wonder if you can ask your grown-ups who sings it. You may already know that. It's a good one. I hope you enjoyed that. I had a good sing along at home. So I'm going to show you some coins that we use in the UK, and I'm not going to show you them in order of value. So the first job you need to do once I show you these coins is to order them in order of value. So we have a 50 pence, 1 pence, 20 pence, £1, 5 pence, 10 pence, 2 pence, and £2. Okay, so if you can put them in order, you can just draw a little circle on your piece of paper and just write it in like that, and then you can order them in size. I've given you the first one. That's the smallest value. Can you do the rest of them? I'm just going to look at notes now. So we've got a £20 note, a £10 note, a £50 note, which I never have in my purse, and a £5 note. So you ready for some questions about money? And you can pause the video whenever you want to write down your answers and have a little thinking time. So the first question is, how many 2p's would you get is the same value as one 10p? So how many 2p's could you get for the same for 10p? Next question. Would you rather have one 50p or three 20p's? So that's one of those or three of those. Write your answer and can you explain why? Next question. How many £1 are there in one of these? So how many £1 coins would be the same as one £5 note? And next question, would you rather have one £20 note, I'd like a £20 note, or four £5 notes? I wonder if you can tell me the answer and explain why. Good luck. So the last thing you need to do for the maths meeting is to look at the next slide. You will see some pictures, badly drawn by me, and some prices attached to them. And what I'd like you to do is to work out what coins you would need to use to pay for these items exactly. And you could draw the coins underneath the prices and see how many different ways you can find to pay for those. Okay, good luck. So that's the end of our maths meeting for this week. Gosh, it was a long one. You've worked really hard, so well done. Hope you've enjoyed it. And I shall be back next week for some more maths meeting fun. Now on the website, I will put some more of those maths from last week, which covers lots of different areas of maths, and that's what maths meetings are all about. And they will be saved under the maths section for year 1 and for year 2, labelled maths meeting resources. Okay, see you all next week. Bye bye.